constantly in your head? Are you controlling your thoughts, or are your thoughts controlling you? How's your overall awareness doing? Your perspective? Feeling a little skewed? Maybe a little one-sided? Maybe a little too black or white? How's that relationship going with your intuition? Any of this resonates, then chances are that you may have a blocked third eye chakra. So keep on watching and I will tell you how to unblock that third eye as a yoga witch. Hey everyone, it's Anya with the Season of Anya, and welcome back to my channel where together, from the ground up, we are building a community full of witches, healers, yogis alike, through the practices of yoga, magic, and witchcraft. For those of you who have been following my How to Unblock Chakras for Yoga Witches series, welcome back. So let's talk about what is the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra is the 6th chakra out of 7 on the chakra system. The third eye chakra is called Ajna in Sanskrit. It's represented by the color indigo, and its seed sound mantra, aka the sound for connecting with that mantra, rather with that chakra, is represented by the sound Om. Om, the quintessential yogi mantra, the quintessential yogi chant. The word Om or Om translates to consciousness in Sanskrit. And in a nutshell, that is the type of message we are conveying when connecting with that third eye chakra. We are tapping into our consciousness. So if our consciousness is off, that means our third eye chakra needs some re-examining. The third eye chakra is located right here in between your brows, hence the name third eye. The third eye is represented by your pineal gland. The pineal gland produces melatonin, a serotonin-derived hormone which modulates sleep patterns in both circadian and seasonal cycles. In a nutshell, it's all about regulation and balance. So overall, the pineal gland is responsible for regulation, for balance, and these are important themes to think of when we are using that to connect with our third eye. Think of it as regulating ourselves, our emotions, our mind, because in a nutshell, when our third eye chakra is balanced, all aspects of our mind, body, and spirit are also balanced, which over time connects you and promotes a very healthy relationship with your intuition, your gut instinct. So how do we cultivate and promote a healthy intuition? Mental balance. Some other indicators of an imbalanced third eye chakra may be absent-mindedness, inability to learn something new, too much in your creative brain, constantly doing, projecting energy. Mental confusion, inability to cope with day-to-day life, being too hard on yourself, depression, nightmares, headaches, bumping into things, accidents, too creative, too go with the flow, too imaginative, not connected to your physical body. Alternatively, although it's not really spoken about, you can be too connected to your logical brain as well as an imbalance of your third eye chakra. Think of it as a very dull, black or white way of thinking. Third eye is where logic meets creativity. We need a healthy balance of both in order to promote healthy mind, body, and spirit. Me personally, I can feel this on a very physical level. I can feel when I'm too much in my creative brain versus my logical brain, as that's something I struggle with. Now, as we dive deeper and deeper into energy work and metaphysics, this will make even more sense. However, think of it as the third eye chakra is in a constant state of receiving information, receiving energy, when in alignment. By nature, we are intuitive beings. That's why our pineal gland tells us basically when to fall asleep. But again, if you're having a lot of restlessness, you probably have an overactive mind. Due to modern society and the pressures that go with day-to-day life, we are being less and less connected to nature. Therefore, we are way too intertwined with our thoughts. This can sometimes be a good thing, but the problem is we are always projecting energy, always doing, always thinking. So as a result, sleeplessness is very common. We're always being in our heads, trying to control a situation. Is this starting to make sense so far? A lot of times we think we receive visions with our third eye chakra, which is sort of true, but it's not necessarily visions in the sense of clairvoyance, clairaudience. Think of it more as that guttural intuition, that intrinsic intuition, that animalistic style intuition. With the third eye chakra, we connect to our intuition through being in our body. As a reminder, the chakras are a ladder system, meaning we climb up to move on to each step, to each chakra. So once we are able to find a very grounded in our body state of consciousness, our body state of intuition, then we can lean into the Kundalini astral realm energy of the crown chakra. This system is built from the ground up. So as we achieve this consciousness through focus and being in our bodies, then we can expand, and only then can we expand into the astral realms and further our knowledge, further our insight, and further our psychic development. If our own personal consciousness, our own personal intuition is firmly grounded, firmly rooted, then we have an internal basis for what is right, what is wrong for our own personal life. But we must find our own sense of consciousness, our own sense of belonging, and our own sense of decision making and our own definition of balance in order to understand what is right and what is wrong. Before we continue, I want to know, how do you connect with your third eye chakra? How do you connect with finding your own sense of intuition, your own sense of balance? Drop a comment, share with the community so we can learn and grow together. So now that we have a really rock solid understanding of what the third eye chakra is, how do we unblock the third eye chakra? Mantra meditations. As mentioned, the seed sound, the mantra for this chakra is Om. Chanting Om about 3 times would be sufficient. To really connect with chanting Om, you want to emphasize the A in front of the Om, which I know is a little tricky. If you really want to connect with the spirit of chanting Om, it's actually a 4-part mantra. Technically, there's an A at the front of it, so you'd want to emphasize the A. O, the typical O you see, O, and then N. And then a pause in between. If you really want to get in and invite the vibration of this frequency into your body, into your mind, into your spirit, you can also chant it 11 times, or you can chant it the traditional 108 times. Do what's called right to you in the moment, as the moment is ever fleeting and ever changing. Another way to unblock your third eye chakra is by deep breathing techniques. I'm going to have another video with a few examples of deep breathing techniques, so I'm not going to go too much into it, but I will say just taking the time to do just 3 deep, intentional, mindful, diaphragmatic breaths, meaning from the root of your belly, big breaths. Taking your time just with 3 breaths can change your vibe very quickly. By the way, I have a cute PDF printout for unblocking the third eye chakra. If you'd like it, totally free. I will link it down below. All you gotta do is subscribe to my mailing list. Thank you, enjoy. In reference with learning how to breathe well, balancing postures in yoga are going to be awesome for balancing your third eye chakra. I've been a practicing yogi for many years now, but I know when I am disconnected from myself based on the fact if I can balance or not. A very accessible and quintessential yoga pose for the third eye chakra would be tree pose. At its simplicity, all you have to do is plant 1 foot on the earth and the other foot at your ankle, comfortably. This is about opening up your hips and allowing that energy to flow. Then, as you get comfortable and build strength, you can keep raising that opposite foot further and further up your leg until you meet your inner thigh, or even cross it over onto your opposite leg in a resting position. And if you're still not feeling challenged enough, you can go from placing your hands at your heart to stretching your arms wide above your head, moving them around, changing your gaze maybe towards the ceiling, for example, closing your eyes, closing one eye, etc., etc. Another great pose is eagle pose. This pose is wonderful as well because you are really focusing on wrapping and condensing your body and squeezing it tight with tension, all while trying to balance on 1 foot. Awesome, awesome pose. However, my favorite yoga pose for me to really gauge whether or not I am truly out of my head, in my body, and my mental clarity and focus is in check is by being able to stay focused in Warrior 3, also known as Virabhadrasana 3. Drop a thumbs up for that Sanskrit, you know I try. This posture encourages a lot of muscle work, so being able to breathe through that tension requires focus. You have nothing else to worry about other than breathing and not falling over. And you know what, if you do fall over, get back up and use that as an opportunity to reassess, reconnect with your breath, reassess your thoughts. A lot of times, even if my balance is good, say in tree pose or what have you, if I can't get it together in Warrior 3, it reminds me that I am in my head and I need to reconnect with my breath. Stepping back, reassessing the situation, and getting back into it with a new definition of clarity is where the magic happens. And as far as the more yin, the more recessive, receiving poses are, child's pose is a wonderful one, and of course, shavasana, also known as corpse pose. Even just taking 5 minutes a day to just sit and connect, if that's all your yoga practices, You're doing something right. I promise you that, my friends. Remember, when you're connecting with that third eye chakra and in you're in Savasana, it's about receiving energy. A great quote that will always stick with me is, it's not about looking and seeking the messages and seeking the answers. It's about receiving them. As far as affirmations go, I'd say with the third eye in particular, keep it simple. I am grounded and in my body. I am intuitive. I trust my intuition and my divine guidance. Easy, simple, and effective. Finally, here's some shadow work for you. You may want to ask yourself, what does it mean to surrender? How can I practice more surrender and trust in my daily life? What is one thing in my life that I am trying to controlling that I need to let go and surrender to? If you do lack surrender and are always in a state of control, I would definitely check out my sacral chakra video. It is an awesome one for flowing and thriving and just feeling good and being in the moment. These two chakras in particular, the third eye and the sacral, work very, very well together. So don't forget to subscribe, friends, because we are going to finish our Yoga, Magic, and Witchcraft series on the chakras with the crown chakra. Thank you so much for subscribing to the season of Anya. We are almost at 500 followers. Thank you so much for taking the time to not only subscribe, but engage with my videos, help us build a community here on YouTube together. I cannot wait for what this project has in store. Witchy yoga retreats, anyone? All right, that's a wrap for today. So much love, so much gratitude to you all on this journey of healing. I will catch you on the next one. Namaste.